Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. She-Hulk. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. As in front of me we have Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk. Now this is a very timely release as we are still enjoying the show right now on Disney Plus. We're not even halfway through the season yet, but getting a character in figure form just adds to that excitement, and it's a brand new character for our displays as well. And Hasbro, just first impressions, have nailed the likeness here, and it's also a completely pinless double jointed female. So yeah, bravo, looking forward to getting her out the packaging. She does have a lack of accessories though. There isn't a lot of empty space in that box. We just get a set of interchangeable fisted hands, but we do get a Build-A-Figure piece for the Infinity Ultron. She-Hulk logo there, another logo up top for She-Hulk, an image on the side of the box, that same image on the back of the box, as well as a write-up that reads, Attorney Jennifer Walters' life is forever changed when she suddenly gains Hulk-like powers after an accident exposes her to the blood of her cousin, Bruce Banner. And then, as always, you get a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing She-Hulk. So as I said, very timely release, not mad about it at all. Let's get it open. Here we have She-Hulk out of the packaging with all of her accessories, which, as I said, isn't a lot. She does have the Build-A-Figure piece for the Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. We have a leg. Come back, subscribe, as we will build and review him soon. Today, we are focusing on Jennifer Walters, and Hasbro have nailed it. Look at this, completely pinless Marvel Legend, which is super accurate to the source material. I can't explain to you how good that likeness is. So there's her interchangeable hands. I'm going to move them to the side for 1 second. Let me get the tape measure out so we can see the scale here. Now, She-Hulk is meant to be big, and as you can see, she's just under 7 inches tall, like just under. So she will be taller than your average Marvel Legend, which is exactly what we want. When she is in her Hulk form, she is a lot bigger and taller. So if we ever get a civilian version of Jennifer in the future, which would be great in her lower form, then she will tower over her in Hulk mode. And as I said, this is completely pinless, double jointed, super accurate to the TV show. Like, this is what we want for my Legends. Am I wrong? Like, this is so nice. Let's zoom in. Hopefully my lights are not too harsh on the face so you can see the likeness here. As I said, Hasbro have nailed it. This is essentially a complete CGI character in the show, and they have captured it beautifully in plastic with that green skin, but you still have the likeness there as well. And I even like the hair sculpt as well, because her hair does get like bigger when she goes into Hulk mode as well. So yeah, from certain angles, people, this is spot on. Like, I know in the show some people were criticizing the early CGI, said it looks a little bit Shrek-like, but like in figure form, they have nailed it. And I love how it's black hair, but it does have like a sort of green sort of shading to it, like a dry brush. So like, depending on how the light hits it or the angle, you can see a little bit of green flickering through the hair. So as there you can see, it's the sculpt, lots of sort of curls there, spin it round, sits over the shoulder, goes down the back there. Again, you can see more of the green on the back. The hair goes down sort of mid-back, if you will. And then there again over the shoulder. And yeah, it just sits really nice, looks natural, but still has a lot of volume. And yeah, that likeness again. Unfortunately, the one negative with the head sculpt is the lack of articulation. The big head of hair sort of locks the head in this position, so you haven't really got any tilt forward or tilt back or even any side to side. It is sort of fixed in that one position, which is great for a neutral look, but when you want to get her in a more dynamic fighting pose, that may be a little limiting, unfortunately. Maybe an interchangeable head with a different facial expression and different flowing hair would have allowed for more action poses. But neutral, absolutely fine. I like the uniform here as well. I assume it's a comic homage. We are yet to see it in the TV show though, and I'm 3 episodes in. Let me zoom in. You can see it's got the 3 colours on there, which is like a dark sort of blue, a white and a purple with a nice texture and different sculpt on there as well. They've hid the articulation of the thigh cut within the shorts as well, which I like to see. But yeah, the uniform goes all the way up, and they didn't skimp on the paint or the texture on the back as well. Nice contrast to the smoothness of the green skin. And there we see the beautiful pinless double jointed elbows, pinless double jointed knees. It makes such a difference in this era of action figures. But yeah, no waist cut. It's all in the diaphragm joint here. This is where you get your rotation and your tilt a little bit back, less forward. The shoulders will go up to 90, bicep swivel, and a deep double jointed elbow. Like, look at that. That is beautifully done. That is what we want to see. Very expressive sort of high five waving hands here for our She-Hulk. Maybe for superhero poses, landing poses, but we do have interchangeable fisted hands. We'll look at them in a second. Moving down to the legs. Let me zoom out again so you can see. Legs will go forward, not so much, but they go out a hell of a lot more. Double jointed pinless knees. Look at that. That's what we want to see, and she will basically kick her own butt. I really like the shoes here, the trainers as well. The articulation, it just basically stops within the shoe, so it's just very seamless. So there you have the pivot and rocker in the trainers, which is going to help her pose up a lot nicer. But yeah, all in all, people, I cannot fault this. For a neutral looking Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk on the shelf, this is it. As mentioned, she comes with a pair of open palm hands and a pair of fisted hands. And I think these are going to work out much nicer for display, as you can maybe get a flex in a little bit. This will be nice, isn't it? There you go. She-Hulk flexing, looking really good. Moving into some comparisons, here we have our MCU She-Hulk compared to 2 different comic versions of She-Hulk. Here we have the very recent modernized She-Hulk, and then we got the more old school one that came in the A-Force box set, but it's quite outdated now, to be fair. And as you can see, Jennifer Walters is probably shorter in the MCU than these 2 comic counterparts, but only just, and all 3 of them have a slight different shade of green in the skin as well. So I was going to try some head swaps, but it would be pretty unnecessary, as the green heads will not match the rest of the body. But yeah, in regards to comic versus MCU, let me move this one out of the way. This one needs an update, but these 2 are very well executed. This one unfortunately have the pins in the knees, but it does have the pinless arms. Are they the same? I don't think so. I don't think they're the same, but still, both of these for comic and MCU She-Hulk, you can't go wrong. Here we have She-Hulk compared to both Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, who are also in this Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. And so far, a solid wave, as we have brand new MCU characters to add to our collection that are screen accurate, with some really nice design choices here in plastic. And She-Hulk scales beautifully, as she should, above both of them. So yeah, so far, 3 great figures. Now, something at one time we only thought we'd see replicated in our own displays, but no, it is happening. It is confirmed. Charlie Cox's Daredevil will be making an appearance in the She-Hulk series. We're yet to see him yet, but I cannot wait. And again, I keep hoping that John Bernthald's Punisher comes back as well, so we get that street level vibe in the MCU. And I do think She-Hulk, as a lawyer, would get on really well with Matt Murdock. I'm sure they will. Staying in the MCU with some Phase 4 characters, as we have John Walker and Shang-Chi. Adding some Phase 4 females to the mix, here we have Yelena and Sylvie, and as She-Hulk should, towers above both of them. I cannot wait to see She-Hulk interact with some of these characters in the future. Can this MCU She-Hulk be used as a comic replacement in a comic Marvel Legends display? Here we have it next to the 20th anniversary Captain America and Daredevil from the Amazon Defenders box set. And you tell me, like, she's not too stylized, as the character design is very simple, but she does have the digital face print on her face, so the likeness resembles an actual actress rather than a comic page. Again, I think it's down to personal preference. Those are decisions that you have to make with yourself, but there's no doubt she looks great amongst them. Here we have She-Hulk compared to White Rabbit, Tigra and Frogman, and what's hilarious is that Frogman is meant to be making his MCU debut in the She-Hulk series. So remember who liked Frogman before everyone else starts liking him. And then last but absolutely never least, here we have She-Hulk compared to Captain Britain and Hal, Fire, Hank. Looks like the beef has started already between Frogman and She-Hulk. Round 1 to Frogman. So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Disney Plus Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure Wave. She-Hulk, aka Jennifer Walters. I really do hope we get a Jennifer Walters sort of lawyer version in the future, as she will be a great accompanying piece to stand next to She-Hulk on the shelf, as it is always nice to display both sides of a Hulk character. Saying that, it's been years since we've got a Bruce Banner and we desperately need a new MCU Bruce Banner. But anyway, back to She-Hulk. I am not overstating this when I say that this is one of the best MCU figures, full stop, period. I know that sounds a little bit dramatic, but when you take everything in consideration in regards to like the new pinless technology, new unique tooling, the actual accuracy of the source material, how good the likeness is, the range of articulation the character has, like, this is such a good figure. Do not sleep on this. Obviously, we're only halfway through the She-Hulk series on TV, and I'm sure by the end of it, everyone is going to be in love with Jennifer Walters if you are not already. So get this figure now. This is going to be interesting when I do my ranking at the end of this wave, because this one's going to be hard to beat. As much as I like the Moon Knight figures, like I prefer the Moon Knight character, like this She-Hulk figure, it's hard to pick fault with. Maybe the articulation of the head is limited, but for me, the likeness overweighs the negatives of the Limitless. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, you let me know what you think in the comments below. Otherwise, I could talk about this all day long. Is it as good as I'm saying, or am I just a little bit excited to have new toys? Let me know, as always. And if you like Marvel Legends, then guess what? You're in the right place. Find the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please, 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 hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please become a channel member. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me, don't be shy, at Dan Who Reviews. And until then, I will of course see you on the next one.